Hello and welcome back to Fawn Clan. We're currently in year 4, where sadly it hasn't been as good as year 3 was. A lot has happened this year, so let's get started with the Star Clan cats. I'm drawing them out of order for the story's sake, so sadly Tulip Spot is first. He died from yellow cough, which sucks because he's been doing great this year. Starting off, he and Snip Pounce actually became mates. They were thinking about each other all the time on their statuses, and they even went on some herb gathering missions a lot too. He wishes he could have served Fawn Clan longer, especially with the events happening now, but he watches over Snip Pounce and his kids. Roach Stripe is the next cat, and he died from a bite wound from a Lily Clan cat. He was attacked on a border patrol and died a few moons later. He made a lot of friends this year, and almost everyone in the clan had a lot of trust in him, so I'm pretty sad seeing him go without really doing too much. And the final cat in Star Clan is very sadly Curlypaw, Toadstar and Dry Stripe's son. He died after following a trespassing Lily Clan cat's scent that led him right to a dog, the same exact moon which Roach Stripe died on. His mentor was Thrift Lurch, and they had some pretty fun hunting patrols. His warrior name would have been Curlyheart, by the way. Because of these two deaths, Fawn Clan has decided to go to war with Lily Clan this year. This is technically the second war we've been in, but nothing happened with the Bitter Clan War. So I'm saying that was just a war of words over like territory and stuff, since it was in one of the first years. This year, and maybe next year, you don't know yet, are pretty full of drama, so I'm super excited to get started. So let's go to the living cats. Starting, of course, with Toadstar and Dry Stripe, who really aren't doing that good. They lost one of their kits and one of their good friends. All the grief from this year has made Toadstar pretty angry. She's not taking the time to grieve, instead she's just focusing on battle plans for the upcoming war, which has caused her to distance herself from her remaining family. Dry Stripe, on the other hand, is grieving very hard. Before the deaths and the war announcement, she lost part of her hearing also in an attack, but this one was from a rogue attack instead. But then also, her and Toadstar adopted an abandoned kit named Grey Kit. She holds her remaining kits close, even though they're both warrior age, and is terrified something might happen to them. She knows her two remaining kits want to fight in the Lily Clan War for Curlypaw's sake, but she herself won't be. Instead, she's going to help the medicine cat. Since Tulip Spot died, we have a new deputy, Finchbeam, surprisingly enough. It's pretty fun for the story and interesting, because Toadstar and Finchbeam don't actually really like each other that much, so I think this was a choice Toadstar made without thinking too much. Since Tulip Spots died right after war was announced, I imagine Finchbeam is a big fluffy cat, so maybe she chose her as deputy to make the clan look stronger. But Finchbeam herself is struggling to adjust being deputy. One of her biggest things is not really liking anyone in the clan, but now she has to talk to everyone to set up patrols, and currently cats need to talk to her to get to Toadstar, so she's not having too much fun. Another cat not having too much fun is Snip Pounce. Last year was so good for him, why does this game hate him? He and Tulip Spots became mates at the very beginning of this year, and Tulip Spot died on one of the last moons. So he's still grieving pretty hard. I decided that he carries around a tulip now to remember him. He's again questioning his skills as a medicine cat, and he wants to prove himself to the clan somehow. But he doesn't think he can, since he couldn't save his mate or his brother all those moons ago. Aspenite has been trying to keep everything under control, but he's been struggling, and he's hoping for kits in the clan so he can get an apprentice. He's worried about the war happening, especially with the injuries his clan already has. He's taking the Toadstar method to grieving, and has been working harder than normal. His family is pretty worried about him, and just want him to take a break, especially before the war. Lily, though, is in an interesting situation. She wanted to be deputy, but she wasn't chosen. She was a little upset at first, but now she's just trying to help Finchbeam as she sees her struggling. She's also trying to support Snip Pounce through his grief too. I see her kinda as the clan therapist, or grandma. I really like her. She's also hoping to get another apprentice, but she doesn't want to be too greedy. Next up is Rostrike, who's doing pretty good. Both his kids are warriors now and he's very proud of them. His crush on Firefly has grown, but he's not planning on saying anything yet. Also, I found a link to information on all the scars in game, so I found out his scar is actually from a dog. I think I said it was like a burn or a cat scratch. It's not. So I've updated his backstory to where after he was kicked out of his previous clan, he went to Two Leg Place looking for his former mate, but instead found the dog that her Two Legs had, which then hurt him, and then he was found later in Fawn clan territory with his kits and was taken in. Firefly is up next, and he's currently grieving the losses of his friend Tulip Spot and his grandkit Roach Stripe. He had a decent year before the deaths. He even got a few patrols with Roach Stripe. He currently doesn't plan on fighting in the war, and he really hopes Toadstar calls off the war so no one else gets hurt. He's both proud and terrified that Shifinchbeam became deputy. He knows both his kids plan on fighting in the war, and he's just very worried overall. Fleet, though, he's having a good time. He wasn't particularly close to anyone that died this year, but he's ready to fight to avenge them all the same. He's actually really happy in the clan, and his Father Rice song had a status that he's proud of Fleet, which was adorable to see. His best friend in the clan, hilariously enough, is the troublesome Erebus Claw. She was bitten by a Lilykin warrior in a border fight after the war was announced. Earhart was also in that fight, but currently she doesn't really care about her injury. Instead, she's bragging to anyone who will listen about how she single-handedly took down the whole patrol and only got this bite mark as proof. Everyone knows she's lying, but they let her tell her tale anyway. She finished training her apprentice and is actually really proud of him. I see her as the clan storyteller, always there to brighten the mood. Someone whose mood needs some brightening is Thriftlarch, who is having a very bad year. Last year, her leg got hurt in the 2-leg trap, and it actually got amputated this year. It's down to 3 legs now. She trained Curlupaw, and she saw him die. Then, while in shock, she got sick with green cough. I feel so bad for her, she really needs a break. Something good, though, is she actually became mates with Posywave this year. He's been so worried for Thriftlarch in all of his statuses. While she was in the medicine den, he would always be in there visiting. It's so cute to see these two finally together. He really looked up to Tulip Spot as deputy and as his own mentor. And he's one of the cats that also really trusted Roach Stripe, so he's grieving pretty hard right now. Thriftlarch is trying her best to comfort him, even though she can't really be with him right now as she's sick. And Aspen Eye is trying his best to prevent an outbreak. Yeah, this couple's just kind of having a bad year. It's kind of a bad year to get together. Ravenleaf is, understandably, very angry this year. He's fully prepared to fight to avenge his son. He's been doing battle exercises with his remaining kits to make sure that they're prepared for the battle. And he's also there emotionally for his kits. He's proud of his sister for becoming deputy, and he keeps swearing to protect the kids of the clan. Which, spoiler, there are no kids currently. So I think he's just referring to the youngest cats in the clan, like the youngest warriors and the apprentice. Next is Spikefur, who doesn't really know how to feel this year. He's just kind of in shock. He liked all the cats that died, and he's still processing it. He's very sad, and I feel really bad. He doesn't want to worry his clan though, so he's been trying to grieve in private, but everyone can tell he's just out of it. He doesn't plan on fighting currently, which no one's forcing him to fight. They can see how he's not doing too good. It's really sad. A lot of his statuses were just he's staring off into space. I feel bad for him. Next up is the couple I spoiled in that post. Wishgrass and Mosscatcher, who are overall having a pretty okay year. They became mates and are very in love. It's really cute. They're both upset about the losses in the clan, Mosscatcher especially because she lost her new dad, and she's worried about her brother and is currently watching out for him. Funny enough though, they became mates in the fall, and I've been joking about how they reminded me of fall colors, so I think it's really funny. And also, Wishgrass was the one to ask her out. I bet Mosscatcher in that moment was just immediately, hey, I've had a crush on you for like years. I would love to date. They're both currently staying in camp to guard it while the war is happening. Yarrowheart once again is in the medicine den. As said before, he was on the patrol with Erebus Claw when they were attacked. His tail was mangled, so he's in the medicine den every day. And he checks on his dad while he's in there. He's upset about Tulip Spot, as he actually really liked him even before he started dating his dad. He's happy he was able to help his sister with her relationship, and he still really likes Ravenleaf, and Ravenleaf has zero romantic like towards Yero. So, good luck, buddy. I wish you luck with your tail injury, too. He's a goofy cat. I love him. Hope he sticks around. Next up, I'm talking about Tanglefur and Bassleaf together. They both were, understandably, very sad about their brother and very angry at Lily Clan currently. Tanglefur is having a harder time accepting his death. She felt very alone in the clan after that. She still has a ton of family left in the clan, but she's not as close to them as she was to her brother. Bassleaf has been trying to comfort her, but she also sees their shared grief as a chance to reconnect, and so far it's going pretty good. Tangleclaw apologized for making Bassleaf feel like an outcast in their litter, and she's sure Roachstripe would feel the same. Also, Bassleaf has been getting pretty close to a certain cat, as it seems. Bleak Tuff is next. His original warrior name was going to be Bleak Claw, but there's already 2 other claws in the game, so I changed it. He became Cold, and I see him as a very dramatic cat who would hold a grudge. Honestly, if this makes any sense, I see him as an, edgy theater kid. Just that's his personality I see. So Claw probably would have been a better name for him, but the Bleak Tuff works the same. It's good. It's good. I took some creative liberties, and I made his hair covering his eye. Emo hair, if you will. He actually had a huge crush on Roachstripe, and now has a small crush on Spikefur and Finchbeam. He's a very interesting dude, I can assure you that. He knows his sister is hiding something currently, but she won't tell him. Hollytail became righteous, but she seems like a pretty funny cat. Toadstar doesn't like her, and she's had nothing arguments with several clanmates. She fought someone over a feather, and they both ended up destroying it. She didn't get many cool patrols this year, but she had some funny statuses. She's a pretty cool cat. She's been getting really close to Bassleaf, so I wonder if that will lead into something. Greykite is the new adopted kid of the Toadstar Drystripe family. On the new moon screen, it said a loner left their kid to be raised in the clan. He was the same age as the other kids, so they just adopted him into their litter. He's ambitious and an eloquent speaker. I'm choosing to say it's a nervous ambition where he wants to make his new family and new clan proud. After Carlupaw's death, he became very worried and protective of his remaining brother. He was mentored by Ravenleaf, who actually recruited him for a few of the war training patrols. I added a few new traits to him since he was a loner, such as his hair and his tail shape. Also, he's blue. I've always wanted a blue cat. He's great. I haven't really shown it yet, but I'm trying to have some family traits for these cats. You'll probably see more as we get more generations going. And the last cat for this year is Hornet Paw. Even though he's 12 moons and his brother, who's the same age as a warrior, he's not due to some weird stuff with the game update. So I'll just spoil you his warrior name because he got it the very next moon. It's Hornet Speckle, which I love these 2 names. I think they're funny. If you see my channel name, you already know that the word kite is a winner for me. His mentor was Spikefur, and he became oblivious and a good climber. They had some goofy patrols. They chased a loner out once. They caught a squirrel. Even though his parents don't have any of the hair tufts, I gave him and his brother some, because honestly, I'm kind of tired of drawing bald cats. The only reason I got for that one. Anyway, back on topic. His brother's death struck him hard, and he's pretty hurt by Toadstar's absence, but he understands that she has a lot of responsibility as the leader of the clan. He doesn't want Greykite to baby him forever, and he wants a chance to prove himself as a warrior. So he chose himself to fight in the upcoming war. And that's it for year 4. A lot of drama, and I've already played the moons for next year. I'll spoil you this. Doesn't get better. It doesn't. Also, next year I want to have like an animatic storyboard part for the big war battle, and maybe some other smaller scenes. I feel like it can get dull sometimes, just watching the speed paint and listening to my mediocre commentary. Also, I found out that I can see what a dead kit or apprentice's full name would have been, so I'm just gonna list them off real quick. Goosepaw would have became Goose Claw, and again, I probably would have changed that so there's not as many claws. Heron Paw would have become Heron Fern, Seed Kit would have become Seed Feather, Basil Kit would have become Basil Patch, which I think that's a really cute name. Bluff Kit would have been Bluff Blink. And last thing, I swear, last thing for this video, I made new talking sprites. I made more than I had last time, so here they all are, or at least all the ones I have done at this time. And that's all I have for this video. Till next time, goodbye and happy very late Halloween season. At the time I was writing this script, it was decently before Halloween, but now it's not. It's decently past.